Everyone wants automation, but almost nobody knows where to start. And every single time, the first question I get is, Puneet, what is the budget that I need? That's the wrong first question. Because if you start with a budget, you'll end up buying impressive fancy tools that absolutely solve nothing. I have seen teams spend lakhs of rupees on automation and still end up doing manual work 6 months later. So here's the truth. If you do not have a data-backed automation pipeline, I repeat, a data-backed automation pipeline, you're not automating, you're shopping. In this video, I'll show you how to identify the right processes to automate, how to distinguish the fake noises versus the real noises, and how to prove ROI so clearly that the budget approval appears automatically even before you ask. So let's dig in. Number 1, the noise filter. Teams automate processes that make the most noise. But as a leader, you need to learn to distinguish between what's a real noise and what's a fake noise. So here's the difference. Fake noises generally are those escalation emails, daily follow-up, Slack messages. Most of the time, it's not a tech problem, it's a broken process. And here's something you should remember. If you automate a mess, you'll just end up getting a faster mess. Real noises, on the other hand, leave an evidence. Ask yourself, are the customers complaining about delayed invoices? Is there an actual compliance or audit risk? Are we paying penalties for late payments? Here's the rule. If the process has a financial penalty, a compliance risk, or a customer impact, it qualifies. Everything else is just background noise. Number 2, the hiring freeze. The second place you should look isn't your inbox, it's your capacity. If your company is in a hiring freeze, but your transaction volumes are growing by 15 to 20%, you are already in a red zone. Automation in 2026 isn't about replacing people, it's about digital scaling. Anytime you see a human acting as a bridge between manually copy-pasting from Excel to ERP, from email to system, from portal to spreadsheet, that's not productivity. That's an architectural failure. And that failure is your lowest hanging automation opportunity. Number 3, prove the ROI. Now you have a list. How do you prioritize it? This is where most teams lose their credibility. You might go to the process owner and ask, how much time does it take? And the process owner might reply saying, it takes, 5 hours a week. Never build business cases on feelings. So here's how you do it. Break the process into steps. Opening the email, let's say 2 minutes. Validating the GST on the website, 5 minutes. And then entering the data into the system, another 2 minutes. That's 10 minutes per invoice. If you are processing 600 invoices a month, that's 100 hours of manual work. Now, you don't have an opinion, you have a hard financial metric. When you go to your CFO and claim that you are going to save 100 hours of manual work of your senior finance team members, you get your budget approval immediately. Number 4, the prioritization matrix. Once you have the math, all you have to do is plot that on a graph. Let's say quick wins will be your high ROI and low efforts. These are those simple API checks. Do these first to build the trust. Strategic bets, high ROI, high effort. For example, an ERP implementation. You need to plan at least 6 months for that. Distractions, low ROI, high noise. Ignore them completely no matter what happens. Automation is not a sprint, it's a marathon. When you build your automation pipeline based on footprints instead of emails, every dollar that you spend will give you 10 times of its value. Subscribe if you're building automation that actually works. I am Puneet Sodhi Asnani and I will see you in the next one.